Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to a very rainy day. Topic time with Harrison Young, the final day of before the Halloween season, or whatever that is. I could go out every day of the year, and people think I'm trick-or-treating no matter where I go, what day of the week it is. But we got a great show tonight, though. We're not going to be dreary just because it's raining out. We got an awesome guest in here tonight. Before we get to her, got to read these great underwriters, and then we will commence with the show. So we got Eagle Gas Auto, repairs and sales for cars right down the road here in Carver. We got Carver Jewelers right here in the building, Ronald R. and Lyle A. Delano Goldsmiths. We got Cherry Lane Seat Weaving in West Bridgewater. We got good old Dave's Automotive in Hanson. We got Fiesta Chara Family Mexican Restaurant down the road, also here in Carver. Then we got AdvancedAutoCar.com in Rockland. All cars under $9,000, they finance everyone, all credits welcome. And I want to thank you guys very much. And now I will introduce this awesome guest. This young lady here, this is Kaylee Elizabeth Grace. She's a friend of a guest that I had on, and actually a relative that I had on a while ago. We had a great show a few months ago, but now we're going to talk to her. She's a young lady who's very artistic. She's very cultural minded and scholarly. She's still, I believe you're still in high school, correct?
Yes.
Senior in high school?
With whatever 11th grade, 10th grade is.
Oh, 10th grade?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sophomore. Wow. Okay, so you go to high school right in the next town from?
Yeah, I go to high school at Rising Tide.
Okay.
It's a charter school.
It is, okay. Is that a private school or is it a?
Kind of private school. I'm not really sure, like, deep what really is a charter school.
Okay. I was always wondering what that meant by charter school, just a special school?
It's, to me, I feel like the school is about, like, them, like, testing the students.
Okay.
See what curriculum works for, like, a public school.
I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, you get special attention there that you might not get at a larger.
Oh, most definitely, yeah.
That's good. That's great. Okay, well, now we talked a little bit about what your interests are and why I wanted you on the show. You told me you do some artwork. You do art, and you kind of like you follow cultures of certain countries, and you like to learn about that. I always like to interview people in the learning stages of life, because that's where we find out what the future looks like. I mean, you're still very young yet. You're obviously a kid, a teenager, but you get a lot going on. And I'm sure you have plans for the future. Well, we'll put it this way: once the show is over, we'll know whether you do or you don't. And if not, well, maybe we can help you make some that are productive for you. So tell me about what you're doing now in terms of like stuff that's interesting. You brought a portfolio of stuff today. What do you got?
Portfolio of drawings.
Drawings, okay. Wow, they look incredible from here. Let's. We're going to look at some of these drawings, and I want you to tell me about each one. If Chris could close in on them as we. You did all these, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I like K-pop. It's a Korean music thing.
Okay. Well, talk about does that have something to do with the drawings?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
This is a member.
Oh, K-pop, the band.
Of the band.
Yeah, I know the band. K-pop. It's a boys.
K-pop is a group.
It's a group.
With bands.
But it's a musical group.
Yeah.
Okay.
Multiple people. So this is Woozy from 17.
Okay.
This is Dio from EXO.
Okay.
And then if we move back, you get, that's Bruce Lee. He's not a K-pop idol.
Okay.
But
take your time. You don't want to skip any. They look great. You are one talented young lady.
This is watercolor. I'm not sure which ones I have in here.
You get someone in a spacesuit, it looks like.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is Jimin from BTS.
Okay.
This is Jay Park. He's a solo artist. This is Jay Park again.
Wow.
Jackson from GOT7.
Okay.
I love him.
I'm a big fan of JoJo Siwa. You know who she is?
I do not.
Really?
No.
Okay. Well, these guys are on Nickelodeon music, aren't they not? The musicians.
BTS.
Nickelodeon. It's a music channel. They do music videos.
I don't watch Nickelodeon.
Really? Okay, yeah.
We don't have cable at home, so.
Okay, all right. Well, go on. So explain the likenesses are incredible. That's all. Whoever these people are that you're talking about, and this is amazing. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So this is a Korean actor.
Okay.
This is a comedy guy. His name is Kim Hee-chul.
Okay.
I have many in here.
Wow.
But well, these ones are pretty old. So this is Jay Park again and Jimin again.
No, wait a minute. Hold up a second. Turn back to the guy with the skeleton face. Is that a?
Yeah.
Did you didn't actually color paste that? Or what do they call that? Compost that from a photograph? You just literally drew that?
So him himself was from a photograph,
Oh, it was okay.
but I added some like splashes.
You
in
added the stuff
background
behind it,
to be
okay.
all Unique. So
Okay, looks great though. That's interesting. You added the mask, right?
No, that's from his cover.
Okay.
Yeah. Then I have many more, and I use a lot of different mediums.
Okay. Who's the girl there?
No, I just took that from online because I don't watch a lot of girl groups.
Oh, I understand. I don't want. Oh, okay. Well, I love music too, and whoever's good is. I couldn't draw them like you can, obviously.
This is me trying out watercolor.
That's who?
This is watercolor paint, so I just tried it out. I'm not sure who this is though.
But it looks great. Was that someone you saw sitting there just meditating with his
I
hands on
took
his?
it off of, so I was watching
Chin?
a drama.
Okay, on TV?
Yeah, a Korean drama, and I took him out of that scene and drew him.
Wow, that's incredible. Well, you're very talented. I mean, do you do art at school?
I did last year, but this year I have not.
Okay, why?
Because they don't have like a program that I can do right now for the moment.
Okay, but I'm just wondering, do you go to people? I mean, you're obviously great at drawing likenesses of people. Do you do that regularly with friends? Draw pictures of people that you're friends with and that you know?
Well, usually at school when I'm like bored and there's nothing to do, I'll usually like find someone in a crowd and draw them in like my.
Okay, that's great, but you never walk up to. Don't be. I'm just thinking if people saw your stuff, they'd come up to you and say, "Hey, can you draw me?" Like if I thought it was worth it, I'd say, "Could you draw me?" If I thought I could get something for the likeness, I probably couldn't, looking like I do. But nevertheless, if I thought somebody wanted a picture of me, or I thought it was just enough that I was impressed that you were able to create such a likeness, I still might ask you to do it.
No one has like asked me to do that yet.
Really? Okay.
Because I'm not really sure if they know I'm good at art, because I keep to myself at school.
Well, they're going to know after this, after the show. That's why I'm so glad I got you on today. Okay, well, that's amazing. How long have you been drawing for?
Well, I've been drawing. Well, I think I've been drawing since I was 4.
Okay.
Because I've always looked up to Jaden,
Right.
who was on the show before,
He was.
and I loved how he drew, and so I drew with him, and I technically got better at it, and he got worse.
What, at drawing?
Yeah.
Okay. So you think maybe his talent was kind of transposed to you?
Yeah.
And in so doing, he lost it.
Yeah.
He lost it, you gained it. Okay, that's possible. It sounds a little bit eerie, but no big. I mean, it's obviously your calling. That's what I'd say.
Yeah.
So tell me about, like you mentioned to me that you also have an affinity for the South Korean culture.
Yes.
Okay, tell me about that. What do you know about it, and why? And what makes you interested in that? I'm just curious.
Well, I love Korean culture because it's very unique and
Yep.
different.
Okay.
How like kids there, they're not like supposed to be. They're supposed to look up to their elders and be respectful. And I love how they do that, and we kind of lost that in our.
Oh, okay.
So, I love that aspect of it. And
Okay.
like, to be honest, like mostly everything about their culture is very unique, and it's just hard to explain. It's just amazing.
Interesting. So you're really kind of like a fanatic about that in a good way.
In a good way, yeah.
Right. Have you ever been to South Korea?
No, but I really want to.
I have actually been there.
You have?
Well, I was there. Yeah, I was there as a stopover to China in 1998.
Oh wow.
And when we were there at the airport, I saw 2 guys on a scaffold washing windows, and I thought to myself, and they were pretty high up. They looked like acrobats, and I mean, and I got to tell you, I didn't envy them what they were doing, but they were good at it. They got the windows sparkling clean, and they didn't fall, which is exactly what I think that's what their intentions were.
That's very interesting.
Well, any other parts of the world that you ever besides South Korea? I mean, what about other Asian countries?
Korea?
Is there something about the culture of South Korea?
Just something about South Korea in general.
Okay.
Like, other cultures, they're pretty cool, but I feel like South Korea is #1.
Well, let me ask you this: are you bilingual? Have you ever learned any of the languages like ever learn how to speak South
I'm
Korean?
not fluent yet, but I do know some words.
Okay.
I know how to introduce myself. I know how to say hi and like say a few basic sentences.
Okay. Do they teach anything? Do they teach the language at your school? Anything like that? Probably not.
No, they don't. I wish they did though.
Right. Well, that doesn't mean, but now in this day and age, in the computer world we live in, I'm sure you could Google some instruction if you wanted to.
That's what I have been doing for the
Oh.
past like 2 or 3
Well, I know you.
years.
Yeah, you can pretty much find translations for any words that you want, and you just have to study them.
Yeah, but it's difficult because they have a formal and informal way to talk.
Okay. And do you have a preference to which one one you like more?
Well, it's better to do formal because if you talk informally, you'll kind of get like shunned. Like, why are you saying that? You shouldn't say that. So like,
So basically, they walk on eggshells over there. It's almost like being profane if you're informal in South Korea.
yeah, because it's like everyone thinks of like the older person as like, yes.
You're not showing respect to your elders if you talk informally. Well, that's interesting. See, that's it. Now here we're talking about that, and quite frankly, I couldn't stand to live like that. But that's me. But I appreciate the fact that you'll come in here and you say that's the reason why you were so fascinated with it, because of the deference to people's elders that we don't have here in our country,
Yeah.
which is absolutely right. I mean. But at the same time, would you really like to live like that yourself? I mean, I'm just curious. Do you feel that? I mean, you can. There's no reason why you can't emulate that culture at your own home. Treat older people with respect that you might not see other people that treating them with, just to try and show them the way that you feel is. Because you got to remember, aside from being a cultural thing, it's also a behavioral thing too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do try to push that on my younger brother.
Okay.
Because I'm older than him.
Right, he's right there. Well, he's young. What is he, about 7?
7, yeah.
7, yeah, good call.
Yes.
Cool, okay. All right, well, that's fine. So what about, like, what do you do when you do anything in entertainment? Do you do any singing, dancing, acting? Do you write poetry, anything? Besides draw, I know you draw. I don't know why I even asked that, but.
But as like a hobby, I don't do any of that besides drawing. But right now, I'm taking dance class at school,
Okay.
and it's interesting. I don't really have like I don't know, what do you call it? The groove.
You don't have yeah, but are you having fun at least?
It's okay.
That's okay.
But I know like theater was pretty fun.
So you took theater.
Yeah, I did take theater
And
last year.
When you took theater last year, did you act in any plays?
I acted in a play I written myself.
You did. Talk about that. Talk about your play that you wrote.
It was kind of a dark one.
That's okay.
It was talking about like 2 lovers, and they fall in love, but they don't know that they fell in love with each other, and they split apart.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was
But
like,
that sounds very clever, but it sounds like something that the people that if you got a bunch of actors together to perform it, the people in the audience would have to figure out what the problem was, and it would be kind of like a challenge to their psyche to do so. But that's fascinating. How long did it take you to write it?
it took me a day to
Oh.
write it.
Wow. And how long was it?
It was about like a 2 or 3 minute play.
Oh, okay. Well, that's great though. It's obvious that you have a yearning to express yourself. That's pretty impressive.
Yes.
And when did you write it? How long ago?
It was just last year.
Just last year? Well, have you written anything since then?
No, I haven't written any like play things, but I have written poetry recently because I did join a poetry club.
Okay. Oh, good. Okay. How's that going?
It's going good. I wrote something last night, and it was.
You don't happen to have it with you, do you?
I don't have it with me.
That's okay.
But Jaden did say he liked it, and I got through a couple other people. They said it was good. So hopefully I have the.
That's great. Well, now tell me about the poetry club. How many in it? How many joined from the school? I assume that's at school, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's about like 6 people, but some people just join randomly.
Okay. It's extracurricular. I mean, you don't get like school credit for joining, do you?
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's sort of an elective.
Well, sort of, but like if you don't show up, it affects your grade.
Well, that's what I mean. It's a course.
It kind of course.
Well, yeah, because if you do show up, can you get graded like from A to F?
Well, it's more like a participation grade.
Okay.
It's not really like how do I explain it?
I know, it's like art class.
Yeah.
You may not have talent, but you do have talent, but if you show up, there's a good chance you'll pass.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with the poetry club.
Basically, that's what it is.
Well, okay. Well, and when you do it, do you like inspire the kids in the club, inspire each other to try and write interesting things and throw ideas back and forth?
Yeah.
Because creative writing is really impressive. I mean, I've always loved it. In the 90s, I wrote a book of short stories. It took me 10 years, and I didn't think, yeah, when I started it in the early 90s, I didn't think I'd have a book until the late 90s when I realized I had enough material to create a book, 50,000 words. Yeah. So, and as a matter of fact, when I was 19, I actually wrote a book of poetry. That was 41 years ago, though.
41 years ago.
Yeah, I know. For you, that must seem like an eternity, but it was 1978.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know. You weren't even born in the last century. No, right. Wow. Okay. Well, do you ever think philosophical thoughts about the fact that your whole life has been in the 21st century, and how long ago the 20th century must seem?
I don't think I've had any like crazy thoughts about that, but like it's interesting because I was born in 2002.
I know that.
And like looking at the kids now age, it just seems like it's such like a small gap, even though, but like it's crazy and like unworldly how like different it is, even though it wasn't really that long ago.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Time is crazy like that. It's it's perpetual. I mean, you're like 4 generations behind me.
Yeah.
I'm 60, so I mean that just. And I don't feel, and I feel just like I did as a kid, actually. And the only difference is that I don't imbibe anymore. I mean, use mind-altering substances to. Well, that's what kids. When I was a kid, that seemed to be the thing, and that was going on, among my peer group. Now it still is among the kids. A lot of the kids. Obviously, I get that you're not one of those kids. You're pretty much a straight shooter, and you basically want to just be productive in life, respect your elders, and be creative. Okay. Well, what about in terms of? I mean, you're very talented with drawing. Did you ever think of maybe? Have you ever tried selling your work to anybody, or going to an art shop?
Well, I do some artwork for a business.
Tell me about that.
I'm designing T-shirts for them right now.
Cool. What business?
It's called Wicked Healthy.
Oh, sure. Good old Steve and Anthony.
Yes.
Now, you're doing their T-shirts? That's so cool.
T-shirts. I did help with painting their wall they have there, and then I designed.
They got a great wall there.
Yes.
That's you.
Yeah, the one at the far back with the lady.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I designed their logo for their slushy machine. So.
Well, you got a whole young lady. You got a big career. You got a big career on your hands if you want it. If you do it for them, I don't see why you can't do it for other people. Now, listen. All my guests, I try to give good advice to. Now, you're still young. You're still in high school. You got a long way to go before you decide what you want to do with your life. But right off the bat, I would suggest that you get online and you reach out to businesses if you want to. I mean, I don't know what you got for time, but my sense is that if you would fulfill yourself immensely if you tried to sell your talents to as many businesses in the area as you could find. Even, I mean, you don't drive yet, right? You're not old enough to have a driver's license?
I don't have my license yet, but I do have my permit.
You do have your permit, but you'll have your license pretty soon, probably early next year.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Well, if you can drive like that, I'm sure you can drive a car or learn to. Well, my suggestion to you is that once you get your license, you go around to different businesses and you show them what you can do. And see if they'll buy it, see if they'll pay you to do it. I mean, there's plenty of. I mean, you got such a gift. You could create billboards. Think of the things you could do. The sky's the limit, and you could do pictures for people. Go out. I'll be honest with you. As I'm sitting here talking to you, and after what I just saw in that folder, I would say that if you don't do it, it's a talent wasted. That's my opinion. It doesn't mean, but if you don't want to do it, don't do it. If it doesn't make you happy, that's the bottom line. But my hunch is that if you did it, it would make you happy because you'd be so impressed, you'd be so pleased with the people's reactions.
Yeah.
But that's up to you.
No, I'll take your advice.
Oh, good. I hope you do. I mean, my hunch is it would be amazing. Okay, that's great. And keep writing too. Whatever, keep writing poetry. Keep writing. I kind of wish you'd have brought something with you, but that's okay. I mean, something to read. But Now, have you ever, what about like painting and drawing? I mean, what about, how about sculpting? You ever try sculpting?
I have not tried sculpting, but I really want to try.
You should. I
I
actually,
took a pottery class,
okay.
but I haven't gotten to that yet.
You haven't started yet?
I haven't gotten to it yet, no.
When is it starting, next semester?
Oh no, it's not a school thing. I want to try it on my own, like out of school.
Yeah, it might be. I mean, my hunch is you'd be great. I don't know if you know this, but a couple of months ago I had well actually, yeah, it was like 5 weeks ago, I had a sculptor right here, a 70-year-old sculptor who did a bust of me as we were talking. A clay bust of me.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's pretty good and cool.
It came out great. And when we're done with the show, I'll show you the picture how it came out.
Please do.
I will. It's on the phone. Don't worry. You'll see it. I won't forget. Okay. Well, tell me this. What is here? We are at the end of 2019 almost. We're coming into the last couple of months. What are you? I mean, I know it's not right next to the end of the year yet, but 2020 begins a whole new decade. And I'm just wondering if you have any like plans to move your life along in any way, any direction, in the later, as we move through the year and then as we begin the next one.
I don't really have many plans. Like the only plans I have is just to complete drawings for people.
Okay.
Because I have my family member also wants me to draw some pictures for them. And they're paying me for it.
Beautiful.
So that's basically the only plans I want to like.
Well, hopefully after the advice I gave you, you'll add that to your bucket list as well.
Yes.
Well, Kaylee, guess what? Well, like I told you, like I promised you before we started, let you know we're under 5 minutes. We're under 5 minutes.
Oh wow.
We made the half hour go by. So look at the camera. And give shouts out to people. You can start over there with your brothers, and then you can work your way to the rest of the world who are going to see the show, because a lot of people are. So go for it, and then we'll wrap the show up.
So I shout out Jaden and Leo, who are here with me right now. I shout out my parents and my friends for being with me all the time. And I shout out Harrison
Okay.
for being amazing. And thank you.
Well, I'd argue if I could. So you did have fun with me on the show tonight.
I did.
Okay. Well, and I just want you to know too that if you know any people, because I get a lot of guests through word of mouth, if you know any people in your class that are talented poetry-wise or anything else that might want to come on and talk about what they do, I'd love to have them on. Age is not I mean, you're one of my youngest. My youngest guest was actually 5 that I had on. Well, she's about your age too. I think she's a little. No, she was born in 2007, so she's 12 now. But actually, the youngest one I had on was actually probably born in 2010. I had her on when she was 7, and she's now 9, and she's a big actress already.
Oh wow.
In Easton, right? But we had her on in Bridgewater about a year and a half ago. Would you ever consider trying to do acting, modeling, anything like that? I think you'd probably be good at it, but just wondering.
I'll keep it in mind. I'm not like complete.
Right now, your big thing is drawing, though. Yeah, okay.
Like maybe.
Just a maybe, okay. What was I going to say? Now, you look very fit. Do you work out regularly?
No.
Really? Okay.
No. I just draw.
You just draw. I mean, I'm just wondering, I wouldn't say you're an outdoorsy type of person. I know that on a day like this, it's not fun to be outdoors, but when the weather's nice.
Well, yeah, I like taking walks and like I like being surrounded by the earth.
There you go.
I'm not a really big indoorsy person, but I don't work out.
But you like to get out and enjoy the weather. You like to enjoy, especially here in New England, we got the beautiful 4 seasons. Well, at least in the fall it is. I mean, the orange leaves that we have.
Fall is my favorite.
Yeah, me too. And it's only my favorite because I'm not in school anymore. Okay.
I wish.
Okay. Well, all right. So great. You did a great job. You're a very talented young lady, and I can't wait to see more of your stuff. Feel free. I mean, I hope you continue posting your work on Facebook so I can see it. And just so you know that if you ever accomplish something, if you go around, take my advice and go to different businesses and show them what you can do and post it on Facebook, I'm going to share it in 2 seconds. And as soon as our show is up, I'm going to attach the show. That's what I do. Once I have a guest on, I make sure that I always share it with, share their accomplishments with the world once the show is done, because their accomplishments are my accomplishments. That's why I'm doing so well hosting the show. So, okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, I want to thank you for being on Topic Time with me tonight. I want to thank you guys for bringing her in and being so patient over there. And are you ready to wrap it up like we did at the beginning?
Yes.
Okay, folks. Thanks for watching Topic Time. More great episodes to follow. See you next time. Here we go.